Hey everybody, welcome to Marvel Champions Monthly. We are a fan podcast about the card game Marvel Champions that's semi-monthly and currently very, very frequent. Today, there's only two hosts. There's me, Kennedy Hawk, and I have Attercop with me, our local aggression expert. How's it going?
Expert. That feels like a bit of a promotion.
Yeah, put it on your business card.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of penciling that in right now. I'm doing good. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to be talking about Valkyrie.
Well, that is our topic today, Valkyrie. We are rushing through these hero packs because many of them came out when we were on like a short holiday break, and we got to play them all, which is great. But now we get to talk about them all, so we've got to get caught up to the current releases because we've got a couple like funsy episodes planned, but we got to get the work done first, right? It's like
Yeah,
do your homework before you get to play your N64 or whatever it is.
I didn't agree to that, but
Yeah, me either. All right, we've got a couple of announcements here at the beginning again. So, first announcement again, you should definitely check out the Con of Heroes if that's something you're interested in attending. By the time this episode comes out, the early bird ticket special has sort of ended, so we are now into the regular ticket range. But you can still go get tickets. The event itself, I probably should have had this like all pulled up. It's in late May. I know that much. I have a flight already, so I know I'm going. There we go. It's Friday, May 20th through Sunday, May 22nd in Roseville, Minnesota, or Minneapolis, basically. So it's going to be an entire weekend of nothing but Marvel Champions. If you're interested in learning more about the event, you can go to conofheroes.com. You can buy tickets from there, look at the schedule, get some travel and con like FAQ information done with. And if you're on the Marvel Champions Facebook page, every Friday we have a post revealing a little bit more details or some of the swag or different things that might be going on at the con. So we'll be doing those posts probably all the way through April, right up until the event in May. So you'll learn a little bit more each week. So check out conofheroes.com to figure all that out.
Didn't we just reveal something too?
We did just reveal something this last Friday, which is 2 Fridays ago when you're listening to this, if you're listening day one. We revealed the first player token that we have going out. So our first player token is a pretty fancy red poker chip. On one side, it's got the con kind of emblem. It says Con of Heroes 2022. It's got some cool like red textile stuff looking at it because each token is kind of like an infinity gem or like an aspect coloring. We're not really sure where it's going to go.
And then there is a very rare version that has Dan and I's face on the front and back.
Should I print some of those? I could do that.
So keep an eye out for that one.
Now I'm into this. Okay. Photoshopping complete.
Finally.
All right. Announcement number 2. We have our awards show recording coming up. We're going to reveal all those sort of awards show style. So each of the hosts, you don't know this yet. You're learning on the fly. When we get to the aggression card and we reveal what the aggression card is, you're going to have to give an acceptance speech for that aggression card that is befitting of your aspect. So it's going to be really fun,
No problem.
or funny, or really, really dull. One of the three. We'll see.
I'm going to make it all 3.
Challenge accepted.
Play no more, fam.
And there's a new MCM challenge for this episode. People have been itching for it since Caleb dumped that horrible hood challenge on us. We'll talk about that again in the next episode. But for now, the MCM challenge for this week, since we're talking all about Valkyrie today, is going to be Asgard themed. So you are going to play as a team of heroes or a solo player, but regardless of how you play, you must choose Thor or Valkyrie as one of the heroes at your table. So not everybody has to play an Asgardian, but you'll have at least one at the table. You're going to go up against Hela with whatever modular sets you include. I recommend just using the recommended modules from her Scheme 1A card. And then you're going to write down if any Asgardian defeats any of the checkpoint enemies. And what I mean by the checkpoint enemies are the ones that come out with the side schemes. So we're talking about Garn and Scourge and stuff like that. So when you fill out the survey, it's going to ask you, did an Asgardian defeat, which Asgardian defeated each checkpoint enemy? And you'll be able to select Thor, Valkyrie, or none. And at the end, we'll see which Asgardian is truly the victor of this 1 to 2 week period. So, link is below. There's also a link to a page that has all of the MCM challenges. So what we're going to do is once we've done a year of challenges, which is about next November, early November timeframe, We will do an episode where we go over all the stats from all the different challenges, tell you how many different games the community played and all. We'll still report some stats along the way, but that'll be like a whole episode dedicated to just how much the community played through these challenges, which is pretty outstanding. We've already had 85 hood attempts. I won't tell you how many were wins, but it was less than 50%. So, the hood. You've been hearing me blabber a lot, and you're almost done. We're on to the main topic of the show, which is the Valkyrie Hero Pack. So, this is the third or fourth, depending on where you live, hero pack that came out in this sort of segment of 4 cycles. For me, it was the third one because I bought one from England and it came here. And apparently, they still don't have War Machine, which is very confusing. So, it's all over the place. It's a dartboard. This was your newest one, right?
Yes, I got Valkyrie not that long ago, but I wasn't sure what was going to happen because the company that I order through dispatched them, and they have mixed them up before when they dispatched them close together. So yeah,
Yes. I think we order from the same company, and I've had that happen before.
yeah. So it was kind of like a what's it going to be?
It's a surprise, right, when you open it. It's like
fun.
real Christmas in January.
Fine. Christmas that you didn't know that you wanted.
Yeah, it's not too delayed, but it's a little bit delayed.
Right.
All right. So we already went over Nebula, who was in Justice, War Machine, who was in Leadership, and this is the third one we're reviewing on the show, which is Valkyrie, and she comes with Aggression. So I'll overview Valkyrie's kit. I can almost talk today. It's been a week. All right, Valkyrie, Brunhilde. Brunhilde, well, that's what we'll go with, has 4 Recover, the Asgard trait, a hand size of 6, and 12 hit points in alter ego form. She has Setup, set the Death Grow upgrade aside out of play.
The Death Grow?
We're not going to talk Death Grow. It's Secret Warps, and this is Valkyrie Groot. It's Valroot.
Oof.
You didn't know this?
I
put it in the show notes. Did you not read it?
Oh, I'm glad that I don't know this.
Yeah, you take the first 7 cards from Valkyrie, and then the last 8 cards from Group, and you Groot. Oh my gosh! You smash them together, and then you play your deck like that.
The joke is tanking. We got to move on.
Okay, we're done. All right, so she's got a setup ability that says set the Death Glow upgrade aside out of play. There's a big debate over whether that starts in your deck or starts out of play. I'm just going to tell you, as a human being, I start with that out of play so that it can't be Ultron Drone because that's dumb. She has the ability, not this day, action, to attach Death Glow and set it aside out of play. So she can remove it from something that is attached to you. On her hero side, she has 1 thwart, 2 attack, and 1 defense, Asgard and Avenger traits, Death Perception, hero action, play the set aside Death Glow upgrade as if it were in your hand. I am the chooser of the slain, or the chooser of the slain. Oh my gosh, what time is it? Okay, so obviously she's all about this Death Glow thing. So let's read that really quick. It is her card 1 of 16. So she actually has 16 cards, but since one of them's like this out of play shenanigans, she's really got 15 like a normal hero. The Death Glow upgrade says attached to an enemy. When attached enemy is defeated, set this card aside out of play. If Valkyrie defeated that enemy, ready her. So if you're in hero form and that enemy is defeated, you're going to get to ready, which is really cool. As you can imagine, her entire kit basically revolves around that. So we're going to go over a bunch of the cards here. We've got Valhalla, which is a 2-cost support. Response after Valkyrie attacks and defeats an enemy that has the Death Glow attached, exhaust Valhalla. Draw 1 card and heal 1 damage from Valkyrie as the response. So it's an income card, but it's not one that's limited to alter ego, which is really, really nice. But it's a lot more difficult to trigger because you're going to have to defeat something that has this thing attached and not have somebody else kill it before you. Cough, rocket, cough. So it's a little bit more difficult. 2 cost. She's got a couple of upgrades here. We've got 2 weapon upgrades. Both of them are restricted. We have Valkyrie's Spear. Valkyrie gets +1 defense, +2 while defending against an enemy that has Death Glow attached. So probably not as useful against minions, but if you put Death Glow onto the villain, you can get +2 defense against the villain, basically starting with 3 defense once you get the spear out. Pretty good. And then we have Dragon Fang, which is Valkyrie's sword. Valkyrie gets +1 attack, +2 attack while attacking an enemy with Death Glow attached. So this could work with minions. It helps you wipe them out faster. At the same time, Death Glow has a cost of 1, so every time you defeat a minion, you're going to have to pay 1 to put it back out, but can still be really good for laying into the villain as well. We have her noble steed or her horse, Aragorn, or Pegasus Aragorn, I guess. It's an Asgard and creature traded 2-cost upgrade. Valkyrie gets +4 hit points while she's riding a unicorn, because why not? And she gains the aerial trait.
That is
Theme.
definitely a
I'm okay with that.
Pegasus. That is
Hmm?
definitely a Pegasus.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh. I'm going to call it unicorn. That's okay with me.
I mean, if it makes you happy, you can call it what you want, but
It totally makes me happy.
okay.
We have 2 more upgrades. 2-cost Flight of the
Valkyrie.
Valkyrie. You should be doing this.
I should be doing
This is
this.
an Asgard thing. Response: after the enemy with Deathglow is defeated, discard Flight of the Valkyrie. Remove 5 threat from a scheme. So a really good threat removal, and it doesn't require Valkyrie to defeat the enemy with Deathglow, which is like super important. A lot of her other triggers do, but this is something you slap on the board, and whenever you need to remove 5 threat, you say, hey, blow up that minion for me. So you can put it on like the weakest minion and then trigger it when you want, which is really good. It's also not hero required, so you don't have to be in hero form to trigger this. If you decide to flip down and someone defeats the minion, you're not just totally boned. She's got a tutor that is going to let her return a Valkyrie card from her discard pile to her hand in alter ego form. Visit Valhalla. We have 2 copies of the event Chooser of the Slain, which is part of her flavor text. Hero action: search the encounter deck and discard pile for a minion and put it into play engaged with you. Draw 2 cards. So it's like Thor's ability without removing a threat, and like lets you set up Deathglow. So pretty cool. Definitely a character that obviously wants to fight minions and defeat them. We have 2 copies of Shield Maiden, which is a 1-cost event. When the enemy with Deathglow attached attacks, declare Valkyrie the defender without exhausting her. She gets +2 defense for this attack. So if you have your spear out and Deathglow is on the villain, you can get 5 defense against the villain without having to exhaust using this event. Pretty cool. We have 3 copies of another event, Have at Thee. 3-cost event, hero action deals 7 damage to an enemy. If the enemy has Deathglow attached, that attack gains overkill, which is pretty cool. But at the same time, 3 for a 7 damage attack with overkill is just like a slightly worse version of all of the other hero attacks that cost 3 and have overkill. So a little bit of a bummer there. And that's what she's all about. So she's all about moving this Deathglow attachment around. Unfortunately, the only way she really has to move it is to defeat the thing it was attached to, or jump to alter ego form and remove it, and then jump back to hero form and move it to someone else. So there's a little bit of trickery there, getting Deathglow onto the thing you want it to be on. But once it's there, it works pretty well.
Yeah, I think that she has a lot of directions that she can go, but they all kind of require you to focus on doing that thing. So like obviously her spear pumps up her defense, and Dragon Fang pumps up her attack, and that's your 2 restricted slots. So especially in aggression, you want to be using, you probably want to be using Yarnbjorn. She's really good for mean swing stuff, but the spear in itself like kind of doesn't do anything. So wouldn't you rather have a different restricted in your other hand? Like I said, like Yarnbjorn, right? You'd rather have
It's
Dragon
true.
Fang
I mean,
and
you could
Yarnbjorn,
run like sidearm and get all 3 in case you defend in a pinch, but at the
right?
same time, one defense, unless you've thrown Deathglow on the villain, isn't going to do that much for you. So
Right. But with that said, I think that whatever you focus on, as long as you are pretty committed to that role, you're going to have a good time. Um, I played with a teammate that was playing her in protection and was trying to leverage the spear and shield maiden.
Shield Maiden,
Yeah, shield
yeah,
maiden.
nice.
I totally blanked on the name, but I had the art like right in my face.
Yeah, the
Um,
anime art, right?
actually, I think it's the Marvel Adventures art from. It's a lot like the IDW imprint.
It does look like Marvel Adventures art. I'll give
Um,
it that.
but yeah, so there'd be really really good turns where the shield maiden would protect like the whole table, and that was super cool. But it was a little bit hard to set up because the demands of the scenario don't always align with what you want to be doing.
Yeah, I've kind of found she can go a couple different ways, right? She can go the protection route and really focus on Shield Maiden and the Spear, get herself up to like 5 defense against these villain attacks. But you're giving up a lot by doing that, right? If you put Deathglow onto the villain, when you go from one stage of the villain to the next stage, that's considered defeating for defeat triggers. So you'll get to like trigger Valhalla once, right? That's cool. But like Flight of the
Valkyrie?
Valkyrie, I'm gonna remember that eventually. Is like this giant like tax on your hand, and like a lot of the cards that exist, right? They really depend on you attacking the Deathglow enemy or defeating the Deathglow enemy. So you end up with, I don't want to say a lot of dead cards in your hand because every card can be used as a resource. And it never hurts to have a 3 cost 7 damage attack against the villain, even when you're like the protecting person, because you're going to have some resources to spend.
Right.
But it's a little bit of a bummer, right? Because you're kind of, I don't know, you're just behind the gun, and you got a lot of weight in your deck that you don't need.
Yeah, and that's the other part about it is how do you use Deathglow effectively, because you have to kind of commit to the economy, the economical demands of putting it on minions all the time, or you can just put it on the minion and just be kind of insulated against them and pop the minion for 5 damage on your basic attack. Pretty
The
easily.
villain, are you talking about? Put it on the villain and just smash him every turn.
Yeah, sorry, the decision is between the economical demand of putting it on a minion and knocking it out and readying, and putting it on another minion and knocking it out and readying and spending your hand that way, or sticking Deathglow on the villain and then moving on.
Totally agree, and I think that Valhalla kind of offsets that tax on the minion. But at the
Hmm.
same time, if you want to really like advantage from that, you're drawing a card and then you're paying that card immediately to put Deathglow back out on someone else. I wish there were a couple cards that like if Flight of the Valkyrie
Oh, you did it! I'm so proud of you.
also said remove 5 threat and then attach Deathglow to a different enemy. That would have been awesome, right? Because you
Right.
you don't have to pay that tax and you can like set up these combos and chains.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
she
I
doesn't
agree.
have great economy, right? Valhalla can draw her cards, but like we just said, you're generally drawing a card that you're immediately going to pitch into something else. So that's annoying. Um, and she does have a ally who is a civilian who has an alter ego action. You can exhaust her to search the top 5 cards of your deck for a Valkyrie card and add it to your hand, which is great because depending on what path you pick, since she has a split kit, you're going to end up with a bunch of dead Valkyrie cards in your deck. So you should hit a target every time, but that's
Well,
not, I don't know.
it's not dead if she doesn't choose it to be dead.
That's true. Not this day, she would say.
Not this day. But I think thematically, I like the hero kit. I also like the playstyle, whichever direction you take it. I obviously like to play aggression decks, and I like feeling like I'm doing a lot of things.
Hmm.
And in my opinion, dealing damage is the most satisfying thing in Marvel Champions. This is not a commitment to my character. This is just me as a player. Um, so in my head, I want to kill a million minions every turn and just kind of like cut a swath through the table to clean it up. So
Yeah, I've enjoyed her the most as like a minion killer, where I do manage that economy of moving Deathglow around. It's certainly annoying, but the extra readies you get and the card draw you get and all the fun triggers sort of make it worth it to me. Um, but the lack of resource generators makes her really economy starved. I mean, she does have Choser of the Slain, so she can like pop those minions out and draw cards from that. So I guess that helps too.
oh,
But
I didn't even notice that she doesn't have a resource generator.
yeah, you're creating and solving your own problems. She's got a lot of card draw, right? 2 Choser of the Slain, Valhalla, Annabelle Riggs. That's like 4 cards of her 15 cards that can draw her things. So that's
Mhm.
great. Um, but there's nothing like static that you invest to the board that just continuously like gives you a resource around. There's no super soldier serum for the Valkyrie.
Right.
There's no nebulous ship either. If only Aragorn said exhaust me for a wild resource, everyone would rejoice, right?
Yeah, I think I would prefer that to the 4 hit points, and I know I would prefer that to the aerial trait.
You just don't appreciate the aerial trait yet. Just wait.
I just don't get it, man. I'm just always ground pounding. That's me.
Gotcha. Well, you can only ground pound if you go up in the air and you press Z, right? So, I mean,
Jeez.
it all makes sense.
No, you're right.
All right. So as a hero, I think she's pretty interesting. She's definitely a split hero. I feel like all of the other heroes kind of have a versatile kit where they can go either way, and all of their cards are still useful. Like we talked about War Machine, he can be a minion handler, he can be a threat manager that also does damage, he can be a bunch of different things. And here you kind of have to pick your role and then figure out what cards suit it and like really stick to it. If you start trying to like juggle multiple things, I feel like she struggles a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. You don't play like every card in her kit out and just kind of be prepared for everything. You want to specialize.
Which is good. I feel like a lot of times with a lot of heroes, I draw my hand of cards and I say, "Ooh, I got a hero card. I'm going to play that and then look at whatever's left over." But with Valkyrie, that's not always what you want to do because you've like picked your role and you've got your like set of 5 cards within your kit that works really well for your role, and then you've got 10 cards that are like, if something comes out that makes this perfect, we'll do it. But otherwise, I'll lean into the aspect a little bit more that like progresses my goal.
Yeah, I agree. I really like the Valkyriers not requiring a hero, or I guess requiring alter ego. Similarly, I like that it's just a response. You can do it whenever. The table can benefit from it whenever. Um, I think that makes it a really really good card.
You could do that with Valhalla too if you can figure out a way to defeat an enemy yourself while in alter ego. I don't have a good idea for that yet, but
No, I think some people are on the case though.
where there's a will, there's a way, right?
There must be.
All right. Well, Valkyrie comes packaged with an amazing aspect. Some might call it the best aspect, or at least the reddest aspect. She comes with aggression.
Yes.
So there's a ton of new aggression cards and basic cards that I think we got to go over. Do you want me to read over the aggression cards and then you can give us your aggression seal of approval or denial?
I don't mind doing it. I can do this.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah. So these are some allies that I'm super excited about. Probably the most excited about since I don't know, actually. For a couple of reasons. I like when we get big name characters as allies. Like I really liked getting Captain America as an ally and Captain Marvel as an ally. But this time we get Thor as an ally. Um, that's Odin's son, Thor. We already got Jane Foster, Thor. Um, but so Thor is a 3-cost ally with 1 thwart for 1 consequential damage and 3 attack for 2 consequential damage and 3 HP. He's got the Asgard and Avenger traits. He has toughness and an interrupt. When Thor attacks a minion engaged with a player, spend an energy resource. Resolve this attack against each minion engaged with that player in the order of your choice. That's it's cool. It might be magical Christmas land to get a bunch of miles out of it, but I think it's awesome and it's thematic. And in like an Ultron scenario where the drones are a little out of hand, you just say, "All right, well, I'm just going to run my Thor over there and clean all these up." So
I love it. I think he's super fun. The 3 hit points is offset a little bit by the toughness. A lot of times I block with the toughness and then I try to get 2 of his attacks in, which is different. I like that. So
that is a good idea. I like that a lot.
I'm a big
He's
fan.
he's pretty cheap. Um, I like the art a lot, and yeah, it hits all the marks for me basically. Um, Next is the best ally. Uh,
Hawkeye.
no, no,
Oh, dang it. Not an
yeah,
aggression Hawkeye. Now I'm sad.
not yet. Uh, Weighing in at 2 cost with 1 thwart for 1 consequential damage, 2 attack for 2 consequential damage, 2 HP. The Asgard and Guardian. Yeah, I thought I was misreading that. Asgard and Guardian traits is Throg himself. So we got Thor Frog, ladies and gentlemen. We got Thor Frog.
So can you tell us how Throg came to be and
Uh,
what his hammer's called? I need to know. Pop quiz.
oh man, I actually don't know the name of it offhand, but I'm gonna guess it's like Frog something. Mjolnir Frog. I just looked it up. It's
It's
Frog Mjolnir.
I love it. It's
Frogmjolnir.
beautiful.
Frogmjolnir.
Puddle go yelp.
Yeah. So, um, Thor Throg is obviously like an amazing character. He's been around for a very long time. Um, he's actually had a few different names, and like I just can't say enough about this character. He like his real name, like his real name is Simon Walterson, which is a play on Walt Simonson, who is a very well known Thor artist. He and his wife did a ton of iconic Thor stuff. If you've seen Thor fighting frost giants, you've probably seen Walt's Walt and his wife's art. Um, so yeah, he's a reference packed inside of a reference packed inside of a silly character. He was also a member of the Pet Avengers.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
disappointed in no Pet Avengers trait. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, I don't think they want us to have it, although we do already have two of them. So do have two Pet Avengers, and even better, they can go in the same deck.
Maybe we'll get honorary Pet Avenger. Maybe.
Maybe we would
If your
need
art resembles an animal, you can gain this card. Okay.
we would just need a few more. We have Falcon, so Red Wing can't be that far. Maybe if we get him as a hero. Zabu is my close second favorite. Um, yeah, no, we could definitely have Pet Avengers. Doctor Strange has a ghost dog, so. But anyway, yeah, so I'm super excited about him, and his ability, I guess I should mention, response when he enters play. Give him a tough status card if you are engaged with a minion. So he is efficient, he is cheap, and if there's a minion engaged with you, you can get him a tough token and take a hit from the villain. If there's a minion engaged with you, you can give him a tough token, and then that turn you don't have to deal with the villain because your boy Throg will take care of it.
Hex yeah.
Yeah,
It's a bummer that he doesn't have the Avengers trait for Earth's Mightiest Heroes, but he's
well,
still really good. He's a 2-cost ally. Come on.
yeah. I don't know how official the Pet Avengers are as far as being an Avenger is. But what's to say you don't honorary Avenger him?
Tis true. Tis
See,
true.
nice and easy. I mean, with the Captain America boot camp deck, he can just do all this all day. He can do this all day. Is what I'm trying to say.
It's true.
So
You can do this all day, Ribbit.
the next card is a reprint. It is Angela. Um, we've seen her before. She's got a 0 cost, 3 HP, 0 thwart, 2 attack. Both for 1 consequential damage. Forced response: when she enters play under your control, search the top 10 cards of the encounter deck for a minion, put it into play engaged with you, shuffle the encounter deck. If you don't get a minion, you don't get Angela, basically.
Boo.
Yeah, we've also got a reprint of Hall of Heroes, which is cool because I think that Hall of Heroes synergizes pretty well with Valkyrie um, in the way that I was saying that I like to play her, is to deal with minions. Same with you. We got 2 copies of Combat Training. We have been playing for a while now. You've probably been listening for a while now. You probably know what Combat Training is. Uh, a card that I was really happy to see, Quick Strike. Quick Strike is a 2-cost event, hero action, attack. Deal damage to an enemy equal to your attack. Yeah, this card is awesome. This card is really cool.
So you liked Quick Strike. Interesting.
Yeah, and maybe I'm biased because of Quick Strike in Lord of the Rings being pretty cool. But I feel like paying 2, getting the attack, and dealing your printed damage, pretty decent. I also like Hulk, so you know.
Yeah, I feel like you got to get your damage to 3 to make it worth it, right? If your damage is only at 3, I mean, this is Haymaker, which is a basic card, so it doesn't excite me. If you can get your attack to 4 by having a combat training down or something else, now we're cooking, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you can get it even higher, then go crazy. I've seen people build decks where they put a bunch of brute forces in that like discards itself when you do a basic attack, but they just thwart and they use quick strike to do their damage. So they get their attack up to like 7 and they quick strike. That sounds fun.
So what you're telling me is
Um,
that there's a club of people who like Quick Strike.
oh, there is, and I'm in it. So I was going to judge you harshly and then tell you at the end that I'm in it, but I'm there. Just for the hand ninjas in the background, even. I mean, I'm cool.
Absolutely, absolutely, and the new Power Man in the art.
Yeah, and they got flavor text for the character and the art associated correctly. Big fan.
They did
I'm
it.
okay with that. Nailed it.
Uh,
Um,
The next one we've got is another fresh card, Smash the Problem, which is I can't tell you how much I love it as a name. For 1 cost, hero action thwart, exhaust your hero, remove threat from the scheme equal to your hero's attack. So similar to Quick Strike, similar to Quick Strike, but not exactly the same. It does require you to exhaust your hero to do the thwart. It kind of seems like it's a good thing I have this. I don't know if it's something that you necessarily build your deck around. It is probably, I don't want to say probably, it is definitely better in solo play, especially if you're playing aggression in solo. It's nice to have this backup plan, but I don't know how necessary it is when you have like a teammate.
Yeah, I mean it's cheaper, right? It's 1 cost instead of 2, but there's that hidden cost in there. So if let's say you're a 4 attack hero, so you were all excited about Quick Strike because 2 for 4 is a pretty good ratio, and then you come to Smash the Problem. Well, now it's 1 for 4 thwarts with an exhaustion. That seems really good, but it's really like 1, and then you're you're losing out on 4 damage by exhausting.
Right.
So that trade off makes me sad.
Yeah, I would have rather paid 2, but then I don't know if it would have been an aggression problem or an aggression card.
It's true, and I do feel like it's like perfectly thematic. Like this card nails the theme. I really like this card and Quick Strike and the next card you're gonna read. They form like a whole new type of the deck building in aggression, and they all work beautifully with Hawkeye. So that just makes them even better.
The plot reveals itself.
Indeed.
All right. Well, the next card is the best defense. It is a 0 cost event, a hero interrupt defense. When your hero defends against an attack, use its attack instead of its defense for this attack. Yeah, this is 100% great for Hawkeye, but if Hawkeye's using this, I don't know if Hawkeye's in the best situation.
It's true, but you're gonna use resources from your hand, right? And if you're getting smashed to the face and you're like, I'm gonna die here if I don't defend. Oh crud, my defense is 1. To throw 1 card down and block 2 damage seems okay to me. And if you can get your attack up to 4 with a combat training or something, and you can throw 1 card down and jump from 1 defense to 4, it's always nice to have in your deck. I'm a big fan of it. I think it's nice for anyone that has high attack and low defense. It's not so great for Hulk, right? Because you've already got high defense.
Right?
Doesn't do much for
He's
you.
got all the good numbers printed high.
Yeah, that good thwart number.
No, the good numbers.
Oh, the good ones, the non-blue ones,
the combat ones.
Yeah, I love this card. It's actually really funny. So I made this joke about like all these cards are great with Hawkeye. So I got my Valkyrie pack over the holidays, and I actually recorded some Valkyrie videos that I have to edit, and I haven't posted yet. But then after the holidays, I posted like my first video back, and in the introduction, I talked about how excited I was about all the new aggression cards in Valkyrie, and then I played a Hawkeye video, and like 4 people commented on it, and they were like, freaking typical Kennedy Hawk. He talks about how excited he is about Valkyrie, and then he just takes all her cards and throws them into a Hawkeye deck.
That's
And I thought,
consistency.
exactly. I've never been more on character than in that moment, so I was very proud.
That's just keeping the brand.
Yeah, it was. I withheld those other videos forever on purpose now. But no, this suite of cards is awesome. So you get a new attack that does damage based on your attack. You get a thwart that removes threat based on your attack, and you get a defense that defends or like decreases damage based on your attack. Beautiful. I love it. I love this trio of cards.
Yeah, I think it is really cool as like an indicator of design direction. I think I said something similar about alliance as a keyword. Seeing more that allows us to do more stuff, or allows them to do more stuff, I should say. And that's good because these are pretty creative cards. I mean, at face value, they don't do the thing that I want to do, like I said, which is smash face. But they are interesting, and they make aggression in solo a little easier to play, and they kind of branch into a dimension that isn't just race the villain when you get kind of in a predicament.
They're utility options, and aggression really needed utility options. They really needed a thwart really bad, and I think even one that forces you to exhaust, especially like you said in solo, is going to save you games. In multiplayer, you should probably just tell that person playing yellow cards to do their job. But In solo, I think it's great. Even in two-player sometimes, right? You get into a pinch where someone flipped down and all of a sudden you get an advance and you're like, okay, everybody's got to thwart this turn. And Hulk's just sitting there saying, I can Hulk smash.
I can
Well,
Hulk
now
smash
he
the
can do
problem.
something. Now he can Hulk thunk. He can think.
Yeah, I will probably be including it in Hulk decks for solo. I'll probably start exploring solo Hulk decks again. Where I did them before, they were basically just races. You know, we just said, okay, can we kill this guy fast enough?
You
And
mulligan and you say, did I draw Hulk smash in limitless strength? Nope. Okay, reset.
no.
Shuffle again.
The question
Mulligan.
is, does this scenario make me lose if I stay in alter ego for one or maybe two turns, and then things get really bad, and we go to the second or third card, and then I look for the Hulk smashes, and I try to play two or three in a turn.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll learn proper Hulk technique from our aggression expert.
actually, I don't think I can play three in a turn, but
If
I
you
mean,
thin your deck enough, maybe you
why not?
could.
Why not just try cheating?
Right? That's like the best way to win, especially as Hulk. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yep.
well, we got cool basic cards too, right?
Yeah,
So
we
we
do.
got the Bifrost one cost support. You want to tell us what that does?
Yes. This is. Let me looking through here again. I couldn't pick a single card that I'm the most excited about, but Throg and Bifrost are pretty tight for first place. Uh, Bifrost is a one cost support. It is unique. It's got the Asgard and location traits. Play only if you have the Asgard trait. Sure. Action: exhaust the Bifrost. Search your deck for an Asgard ally and play it. Paying its cost. Shuffle your deck. Pretty cool. Pretty cool because considering the Asgard allies, they're all pretty strong. They're all pretty strong allies.
So what do we have? We've got Sif in Thor's kit.
Hmm.
We've got Heimdall, the basic ally that costs 5, but he's really good to go grab. We've got Jane Foster Thor and Odinson Thor.
Hmm.
Throg, Angela, and Valkyrie.
Yeah, there's a lot of choices.
And Beta Ray Bill from Leadership. So
True,
there you
but something that like it working as like another card in your hand is pretty nice. You know, like you don't have to have the ally in your hand. You can use your double like with Thor, right? He has a small hand size, and sometimes you're going to hit a bunch of power of or double resources. This makes sure that you can always do something with those cards.
go. Yeah, and this is like pure economy, right? So you pay 2 true cost up front, Bifrost plus 1 card itself.
Right.
But then every time you exhaust it, you go find a card and basically like artificially add it to your hand, like you're saying. So once you've used it twice, you've gotten 2 resources of discounting. The third turn, all of a sudden, it's like generating resources. It does require those Asgard allies to be in your deck. So you need to make sure you know how many allies you have, how many are in your discard pile versus hand, and whether there's any left. Because you might exhaust it and then find nothing, which would suck.
That'd feel pretty
And then
bad.
you got to shuffle your deck as a punishment, like a putz, you know. So
Right in front of everybody.
yeah. Oh, I didn't find anything. I've done that many times with Quiver. I understand the pain of my Asgard friends now, so it's okay.
We've also got godlike stamina, which is a zero cost event. Play again only if you have the Asgard trait. Heal 2 damage from your identity. You may discard a status card from your identity.
So what do you think about this card?
I think this card is. I'm pretty conflicted over this card because it solves one of Thor's biggest problems, which are stuns. But Thor also has a very small hand size, so it's kind of difficult to have this be one of your cards and still have a quality turn.
And you got to draw it at the right time. Like I remember when this card got previewed, people were going crazy about it, and I've tried it, and I have never been. I mean, having 3 cards in your deck that just heal you for 2 for no extra cost is not bad by any means. But like I have never gotten it to come up when I have a status condition. It's always like I have 3 in my hand, and then the next turn I get stunned, and I'm like, wow, I wish this was last turn. But it's a lot like that athletic conditioning card that people just dump on, and that one's even worse because it costs 1, and all it does is discard a status card.
Hmm.
But here, like it's the same problem, and our Asgard characters don't necessarily have a lot of beefy hand sizes. You do have a good
Right.
chance of drawing into this with Thor, which is nice. But I
Uh,
don't know.
it's also physical. So I know I always say this, but if you're playing Aggression Thor, you're probably playing Yarnbjorn, so you can either heal 2 or deal 2 with it, and that's flexibility.
This is true. This is true. I like that. I do find it funny that they used like this is like an alternate cover from like Gwen Stacy month or something in Marvel Comics.
Yeah,
It's like
I was going to say the quote is from Jane Foster, but that's pretty clearly Gwen Stacy.
yeah, I was very confused. Negative props. Everything we said about Power Man was great, but this not so much. I don't know. I'm just saying.
I wonder if I wonder if they want somebody to make sure that they're on the right track with their art. Maybe I could do that while I'm in Roseville. Just pop on by.
We could have a meeting about flavor text. It could be fun.
Can we? Yeah. Who can we talk to about that?
The flavor text gods
Oh,
of Asgard.
oh wow. Okay, things escalated very quickly here.
Yeah, yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Make sure you have your runes ready so you can like align them in the right order.
Sure. Yeah. No, they're always ready. They're right here.
And that's from his precon.
That's
But we've
everything.
got out of aspect cards too, right? So we have Cosmic Alliance, which we previewed on the show already. It's an alliance card, 3 cost. Choose an Avenger character and a Guardian character. Ready each of those characters. Can be really strong, but it's kind of hard to get off because the person you're readying has to have like a turn where they can then use that exhaustion, which can happen with Smash the Problem and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But it's an okay alliance card. I like the idea of alliance cards. This just isn't my favorite alliance card.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I agree. Um,
I really like the art. I like the art.
I
I'm a
love the
fan.
art. Yeah, I think it's great. I like the warmth and like the angularity of it. Um, we've also got, let's see, we've got problem solvers, and who doesn't need a problem solver, right? It's yellow, so
Agreed.
I have no idea what it does.
All right, so it's a 4 cost alliance card with a thwart trait. Hero action thwart. Exhaust an Avenger and Guardian character you control. Or, yeah, sorry, I lied. Exhaust an Avenger and Guardian character. So those are part of the cost, so anyone can do that. So you can exhaust Star-Lord and Captain Marvel when those are your 2 heroes in the game. Remove X threat from each scheme, where X is equal to the combined thwart of those characters. So that's really good that it's from each scheme. But if you're playing this and it's a removing threat from like 5 schemes, then you certainly needed some problem solvers because you have problems to solve. Um, like cute wrecking crew tech. I don't know.
Oh man, yeah, I didn't even think
Like
about that. I feel like this is the second recording where I've said, "Man, I didn't even think about Wrecking Crew," and I don't feel
a lot of
bad.
people don't think about wrecking crew. It's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, I don't feel bad saying that, but it's making me realize how little I think of Wrecking Crew.
I mean, it can work okay like in Hella, right? Because you're always going to have 2 schemes up, and if you're
True.
playing a campaign, you can't always remove threat from the campaign side scheme, but you're probably going to have 3 schemes up a lot of the times
Or
in
Red
different
Skull.
campaign modes.
Red Skull's
Um,
a pretty good one.
Red Skull would be a good one, but still with Red Skull, you're trying to remove that side scheme like every turn, and there's no chance of like 2 players drawing a side scheme because they're all on the one deck.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like you want to have like 3 side schemes out because if you're paying 4 and then exhausting 2 people, even if they only have 1 thwart, like you're paying 4 to remove 2 threat from the main scheme, that's bad. If there's a second side scheme, you're paying 4 to remove 4 threat, that's still pretty bad. So you got to have like 2 side schemes out there to make it worth it. Um, and I know people have made crazy videos where they let like 9 side schemes get out, but that's not like what you would normally do if you're playing the game to win. That's like what you would do if you're trying to make a cute problem solvers deck, which is cool. Don't let me discredit that. That's just not the way our table plays.
Right. Do you want to talk about the next card? It's blue.
It is blue, and I actually like it a lot. 1 cost leadership training, max 2 per deck, 2 uses. Alter Ego action. Exhaust this card and remove 1 training counter from it. Choose a leadership blue event in your discard pile and shuffle it into your deck. So this is good, just like the Justice one, for a couple of reasons. Um, Justice and Leadership have the breathing room to flip down to Alter Ego. So you're not killing yourself to flip down and get this card. You can also do things like shuffle in get readies, so you can have a burst turn if you know, like, hey, I'm going to play Goliath, but I want to make sure I draw into the combo pieces to really make his stuff like shebang. You can do it. what I like to do is, because you're flipping down and you shuffle a card in, and then you shuffle a card in before you flip back up the next turn. So I'll shuffle in, like, I'll flip down and shuffle in and make the call, because my discard pile is probably pretty full if I have events to choose from to shuffle back in. So that means there's lots of ally targets, things like that. You can shuffle in Avengers Assemble. There's a lot of good, like, combo and finisher cards that you can put back in with leadership. And a lot of them are pretty cheap. Not Avengers Assemble, but Get Ready and Make the Call and stuff like that. You can shuffle in zero cost cards, so you're not like putting super expensive events back into your deck. So I like it a lot.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. My first thought was make the call just to get extra miles out of your Maria Hill. Your
How many times can I play Nick Fury?
Yeah. How many times
Exactly.
can I play Fury? Realistically,
um,
how many times?
and I've seen people use this with Ant-Man, where they flip to Alter Ego to heal, and they shuffle into Moxies, and then they know, hey, I'm going to draw into those and flip back up. I could see that with She-Hulk too, like
I like that a
shuffle
lot.
in your flip cards so that you draw into them. Hopefully, I like that idea.
Yeah, no, that sounds really good. I like the Ant-Man Moxie idea. Um, so this next card I wanted to talk to you about, despite it being a green card.
Hmm.
That's not Hawkeye.
No, it's not.
That is
That is
that's
Dark
Bullseye.
Avenger Hawkeye, right?
That's Bullseye. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
that
anticipate.
sneaky Norman Osborn replacing our heroes with villains.
So
We're on to you, Vardane.
anticipation is a one cost upgrade, max one per player. When you engage a minion, discard this card. Ready your hero. Cool. This is cool. I like this card. It is simple. It is another ready. It makes Protection Hulk a little cooler. But
I
that
don't
is
know though. Like,
definitely not. Uh, that is definitely not. Hawkeye.
that's not Hawkeye. I know. I wish we could have enough Hawkeye art to make a whole deck. Someday, Caleb will grace me with that.
Oh, I get it.
I'm glad you got that. That was good. I know. It was really funny. Um, what I don't like about this card is it's when you engage a minion, and protection doesn't have a way to like bring minions out. So you put this down, and then you're banking on you having defended and drawing into a minion. So you have to like anticipate a minion showing up, which isn't like easy. Once there's a way for like, I don't know, say a blue aspect that doesn't have enough things that they could do to like move minions around and like command, hey, protection player, you deal with this minion. Then this could be a really cool card. So I guess you'd say that this card, like, you have to anticipate when a minion is going to show up, and if you do, it could work out really well.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna say that.
No, okay, never
No,
mind. Well, I said it, so
no. You,
somebody said it.
you got
I don't know.
you got the Caleb Grace joke. You're not getting this one.
I'm not getting both. Okay,
No,
I tried. I tried hard.
it was a
You know,
reach.
death grow. We can do it.
Yeah, you're walking this weird line tonight.
It's yeah,
You're
it's true.
confident enough to go for puns, but you're misspeaking words in front of you.
I can almost read things. It's
Okay.
true. It's true.
I can almost read things. I hope that's our 2022 quote. I can almost read things.
It's gonna be the flavor text on the next card I make of myself.
I can
I can
almost read
almost
things.
read things, but it'll be spelled wrong, or like the words will be in the wrong order.
Or it'll be blurry
Yeah, there you go.
because you have no depth perception.
No depth perception.
There it is. I've been waiting all night to drop that one.
I thought you were gonna say it when I read the card, but you didn't. All right, Valkyrie. Where do we think she is? Is Valkyrie? What grade are you giving her? Fifth grade math teacher style.
I feel like I always give B's. I give A's sometimes. But I think I'm gonna give this one like a C plus. I think she's cool. I think she's interesting, but I don't know. I'm not like it does. She's not my first choice for anything.
I agree. I would give her a C with like a nice effort sticker if I was a fifth grade math teacher.
Okay, sure.
Um, but if I was grading like her pack as a whole, she'd probably get a B with nice effort, because I think that the like aspect package she comes with and the backup cards are like one of the best back halves of a pack you can get. Like, you get support for a trait. That trait is Asgard. You get a new archetype in aggression, and you get off aspect cards that aren't, well, not all of them are completely useless. So I would say that like once you get past card 16, this is like a really solid pack. And even up to card 16, it's like, it's not like a dud of a pack, but it's just not my favorite.
I'd probably give her a B plus with a lightning bolt sticker.
Lightning bolt sticker. That makes sense.
For giving nice things to her pal Thor. I thought she was a real team player. I'm glad that she had cool cards for Thor to mess with.
I agree. I almost wish they didn't reprint Hall of Heroes, though, if that was the plan, though. Because if you take this pack and you say, if you had Thor's pack and you said, hey, you got to get one pack to enhance your Thor play, go get the Valkyrie pack. You'd open it and you'd immediately see that like one of the Asgard cards is a reprint, and you'd be like, oh, that's a bummer. But I still think the rest of the pack like really suits him super well.
Yeah, I still think there's plenty of juice in the pack that if you got a double Hall of Heroes, it wouldn't be the end of your day.
Yeah, just put two in your deck, right? We already condone cheating, so
Just cheat. You'll hit all the good cards so much more often if you just play more of them. Rules be damned.
exactly.
I feel
Just
like
make it your
eventually,
41st card or whatever it's called. Yeah.
I feel like eventually we're just going to like get so comfortable advocating cheating that we're not even going to be talking about the game anymore. Like we're just going to be talking about what we think is the game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think I do that sometimes anyway, right?
we,
So,
I'm sure one of our listeners was already like, "Well, you guys already do that," but hey, you can't make fun of yourself, right?
some people can, and I'm one of them.
And yeah, we're both one of them. We're two of them together.
We're
That's
two of
quick
them.
math.
1 + 1 is 2. See, I can do math. The reading thing, not so hot. Math, I'm all about it.
Back in the saddle. Here we go. The return of the
This is
king.
my expertise. That's on my business card. All right. That was our Valkyrie episode. We've got one more Hero Pack episode to get through before we wrap up this cycle. And then we've got a scenario pack, and then we're caught up on releases. How does that feel?
I'm so excited for the scenario pack. Like I've been waiting so long for us to go over the scenario pack. It's unreal.
Well, you'll have to wait 2-ish,
No, I know.
maybe a few more episodes.
No, I know.
It might be a 2-episode pack because there's so much to unpack in that pack that it'd be hard to pack it in.
But you'd have to repack it and then pack it again as 2 packs. Yeah, I know, I get it. But I'm just so excited. I hope everybody else is excited, having no idea why I'm excited about it.
I'm excited just to hear. All right. That's it. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great week. And today's episode of MCM was brought to you by Odin's Vault Rare Artifacts and Collectibles. Find a rare, ancient, reality-bending artifact in your mom's basement? We want to add it to our collection. Bring it in, we can haggle on the price and figure it out. You can find a rare assortment of goodies like the tuning fork, the Warlock's Eye, or maybe even the Tablet of Life and Time if that's the kind of thing that you're into. If that's not the kind of thing you're into, you can still support the show by going to patreon.com/MCM podcast. And now, back to the show.